Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Guns N' Roses Central, and it's time for another episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. So today we're talking about the song Mr. Brownstone from Appetite for Destruction. Now, in addition to being featured on Appetite for Destruction, the song was also released on Guns N' Roses' live album, which came out in 1999, Guns N' Roses Live Era. Now, the version of Mr. Brownstone that you guys have probably heard on Live Era is from the Paris 1992 show that was shown on pay-per-view. Now, the song was written by Izzy Stradlin, who came up with the lyrics, and the music was written by both Izzy and Slash. Now, Slash relates that the song was begun by him and Stradlin while they were at Stradlin and his girlfriend Desi Kraft's apartment. He states that they were sitting around complaining about being heroin addicts when they started improvising lyrics and music. And brownstone is often a slang that's used for heroin. The lyrics make a clear reference to the tolerance that drug causes in the verse that says, "I used to do a little, but a little wouldn't do it, so the little got more and more. I just keep trying to get a little better, it said a little better than before." When they had all the lyrics all together, with some help from Izzy's girlfriend, they wrote it down on the back of a grocery bag and brought it to Axl Rose. Slash said the lyrics describe a typical day in the life of Slash and Stradlin. He also states it was the first song that the band wrote after being signed by Geffen Records. Now, something a lot of people may not know is that Mr. Brownstone was the first Guns N' Roses single released outside of the US, appearing as a double A-side alongside It's So Easy. So the song actually exhibits a Bo Diddley beat created by Bo Diddley. The beat is often used in many rock songs starting from the 1960s. Now, Axl has addressed the meaning of the song at numerous live performances, so the first time that Guns N' Roses played this song live was at the Whiskey on August 23rd, 1986. So he introduced the song by saying, "This next song is a brand new song, and I think it goes with a little bit of warning. I've seen a lot of my close friends, and I've seen a lot of other people I know get really effed up when they discover the drug called heroin. The next thing you know, your life is effed up because you're just too effing cool. This song is called Mr. Brownstone, and I think you should stay the F away from that bad shit." A year later, when Guns N' Roses played the Open Air Theater in San Diego on September 4th, 1987, Axl said, "If you're going to mess with drugs, you're going to have to be careful with it. If you want to be around, deal with it in moderation. This is about heroin. This song is called Mr. Brownstone." And Izzy and Slash have said that even though people think the song is about heroin, it could mean a lot of different things to different people. So Izzy said it can mean a million different things to a million different people. It's like when you listen to a Zeppelin song, what do you think? I have all kinds of effing wild ideas about what custard pie is all about. Slash also said in 1988 that a lot of people have a misconception about the song. They think it's about drugs. It's not so much a statement about our drug habits, it's more of a statement about other people's drug habits. It's a good little dirty that people can listen to and maybe think about what they're doing. Now, Axl was forced to testify in the Steven Adler trial in 1993, and the question of what Mr. Brownstone meant actually came up during the trial. Here's what Axl had to say about the song and its meaning.
It's a song about attempting to avoid or kick the habit of heroin, get away from it, and getting away from it.
Okay.
Called Mr. Brownstone.
Was it talking about trying to get away from the habit or doing it or trying to get away from the habit while on tour? While doing performances?
All it's really talking about is heroin can be a nagging habit.
Okay.
And being annoyed at the naggingness of that habit.
Does one of the verses of the song start with the words, "The show usually starts around 7. We go on stage about 9. Get on the bus about 11. Sipping a drink and feeling fine." Is that one of the verses of the song?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the chorus goes, "We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. He's been knocking. He won't leave me alone."
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Brownstone.
You're going to have the witness humming it.
Pardon? He could probably do much more justice to it than I, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Brownstone is heroin, right?
Yes, or anything.
Okay.
Any substance. I mean, it could be TV. You know, I look at it in any way possible like that.
Well, the song goes on to say, "I used to do a little, but a little wouldn't do, so the little gets more and more." That referred to drug abuse, didn't it?
As I said, I think it refers to any form of substance abuse or emotional repressant. That's how I look at the song and always have.
Nice.
You know, it's like, in its simplest terms, you can look at it as heroin. or you can do what you want with the song.
I got you. Where'd you pick up the word brownstone? Is that the word you made up for?
No,
What is it?
Izzy.
And what is the word brownstone?
It can be slang for heroin, it can be slang for anything.
Now, Axl talked about how he came up with writing his part of the song. He said, "And Mr. Brownstone, it reminded me of a Stones-ish type funk thing, and so I just played around with it, and then, we heard our rehearsal tape back, and it sounded like it might work. I just started practicing that way. We have countless friends that have spent, upwards of 50 grand on rehabilitation. They can't get away from drugs. I've lost at least 5 or 6 people I hung out with every day, so Mr. Brownstone is about having a battle with it and wishing you'd never touch the stuff and trying to get away from it." So according to Slash and Izzy, they had apparently written the lyrics to the song and shown it to Axl, and he showed interest in the song. But according to Axl, he had a different version of events. He said, "I was one of the last places to leave on our place on Fountain, and I found this piece of yellow paper waddled up in the corner where Izzy and Steven's room was. It had the lyrics to Mr. Brownstone. I read it and went, that's great. They said they had the music for it, and we ended up starting to rehearse that thing." So Mr. Brownstone was only released as a single in the UK, but it was also released as a B-side to the singles It's So Easy and Welcome to the Jungle. And Mr. Brownstone was the first Guns N' Roses single released outside the US, appearing as a double A-side along It's So Easy. Now, Mr. Brownstone has been a staple of pretty much every Guns N' Roses concert, and one of the most important events that happened with Guns N' Roses history was at the Coliseum in LA when Guns N' Roses opened for the Rolling Stones for 4 shows. So during that time, a lot of the band members, especially including Slash, were strung out on heroin, and Axl had enough, and he publicly addressed it. So he basically said unless certain band members get their act together and stop dancing with Mr. Brownstone, the band was going to be over. And during one of the actual shows, Slash actually had to give a speech before Mr. Brownstone telling people not to do drugs, and the irony of everything was that Slash was high at that time, or he was using heroin at that time. And on the VH1 documentary Behind the Music, where they looked at Guns N' Roses' history, Slash said that was one of the things he never forgave Axl for. Now, in the 1993 Steven Adler trial, Axl had to testify, and he was actually asked about the rant that he gave at the Los Angeles Coliseum opening for the Stones. Here's what he had to say.
In Los Angeles Coliseum opening for the Rolling Stones.
Yes, we did.
I want to talk to you a little bit about some problems about drug use and drug problems up to and including that time. Is it fair to state that drug use, and when I mean by drugs, I mean hard drugs such as cocaine and heroin, were fairly common in Guns N' Roses almost from its inception?
Section on vague and ambiguous cause for conclusion.
Were any of, expect that, within a month or two of the time that Guns N' Roses formed, were you aware of any of its members doing drugs?
Yes.
Who?
I think everyone at different times with the exception, well no, everyone.
Okay. What kind of drugs, strike that, and when you say everyone, you witnessed everyone doing drugs. Is that correct?
Yes.
What kind of drugs did Duff use?
So you're not going to give us a time, Your Honor? All right, would you specify the time, please?
During the, well, let's broaden it out and then we'll narrow it down. During the period of time between the formation of the band and March of 1990, what kind of drugs, if any, did Duff use?
Cocaine and various pills, but I would not be able to say whether they were prescribed or not.
Okay. When did you first see Duff using cocaine?
Objection, Your Honor. This is cumulative. It's section 352.
Well, it does appear to be cumulative as far as
I can withdraw this question and move on, Your Honor.
All right.
So apart from Guns N' Roses performing Mr. Brownstone quite frequently live, Slash has been known to perform the song live as well. He performed it with his second incarnation of Slash's Snake Pit, with Velvet Revolver, and also with Miles Kennedy. Former Guns N' Roses drummer Steven Adler has also been known to perform the song live with his band Adler's Appetite, and Mr. Brownstone was one of 3 Guns N' Roses songs that was performed at the 2012 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, although HBO didn't broadcast the live performance of it, but you can actually see the fan footage of it on YouTube. And this was the only song that Matt Sorum played drums on at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, while Steven Adler played drums on Sweet Child of Mine and Paradise City. So the song briefly re-emerged in the media when the writings of Virginia Tech shooter Song Hae Cho was actually released to the public. So one of his 2 one-act plays was entitled Mr. Brownstone and contained lyrics from the song. Now there is a demo of the song available on YouTube. It sounds like a much slower version of the song than what they actually play live, so I've linked to that down below for you guys to check out. And finally, let's talk about where the song ranks on the best to worst Guns N' Roses song list. So according to Spin.com, they ranked it as the 9th best Guns N' Roses song, while LA Weekly actually ranked it a bit higher. They ranked it as the 4th best Guns N' Roses song. I don't know if it's in my top 5. It might not even be in my top 10, but it's definitely a song that I like. So that basically does it for this episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. Let me know what your thoughts are on Mr. Brownstone. Do you like it, or do you feel like it's just overplayed too much? Comment down below and let me know. And as always, guys, hit the like button if you enjoyed the contents of this video. And be sure to subscribe if you love Guns N' Roses and you want to see more videos just like this. And follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to my social media channels are down below. And you can also support my channel on Patreon, which is also down below in the description box as well. Take care, guys, and have a good one.